फर्जंदे ज़हरा ये हालात बुरे हैं।
काशाना-ए-बसीरत एक ऐसा मुकम्मल यूट्यूब चैनल जिस पर महरूम बसारत के लिए बिलखुसूस और तमाम अफराद के लिए बिलमूम सैकड़ों की तादाद में इस्लामी कुतुब दस्तयाब हैं। लिहाजा गुजारिश है कि आप अपनी जिम्मेदारी निभाते हुए काशाना-ए-बसीरत को सब्सक्राइब करने के साथ साथ बेल आइकॉन को प्रेस कीजिए ताकि आप इल्म के हुसूल के साथ साथ मजहब अहले बैत की इशाअत में भी अहम किरदार अदा करते रहें। काशाना-ए-बसीरत
फर्जंदे ज़हरा ये हालात बुरे हैं।
Now let's move on to next part, number 18 of this book. There was a person called Abu Abdullah Madani, who was one of the great scholars of the world. He told Abu Jaish bin Ahmad, I know an Ethiopian bishop whose age is 360 years now that he knows this writing. He had tried to teach this writing to me also, but I loved Arabic more and hence I could not learn it. That person is alive even today. Eventually, Abu al-Jaish wrote a letter to the Shah of Ethiopia to send that bishop to him. The Shah of Ethiopia wrote a letter in reply. The bishop has grown very old and has become used to the environment of this place. If he leaves this environment and goes to another place, then there is a risk or that the environment will not be suitable for him and he would die. Also, he can no longer bear long journeys. His presence is a cause of honor, joy, and tranquility for us. Therefore, if you want him to read something or explain or to answer your questions, then write and send them here. Hence, the marble slab was kept in a tray and sent to the city of Aswan. Then it was sent to Ethiopia from Aswan, which was near it. When the piece reached Ethiopia, the bishop read it and translated it into Ethiopian language. It was then translated into Arabic from Ethiopian. It was written as follows in it. The written translation is, I am Rayan bin Dumag. Abdullah Madani asked the bishop who that person was. He replied, he was the father of King Aziz of Egypt during the time of Prophet Yusuf salam, whose name was Walid bin Rayan bin Dumag. The Aziz of Egypt lived for 700 years. His father Rayan lived for 1,100 years, and Dumag lived for 300 years. In short, it was inscribed as follows: I am Rayan bin Dumag, who had set out to know where River Nile originated from because I was not aware of its origin. I was accompanied by 4,000 people and I continued to travel for 80 months and I reached darkness and the ocean. I saw that River Nile cut the encircling ocean and crossed it. There was no way for me to cross the river and only one person was left with me out of 4,000. I feared that my rule would come to an end and hence I returned to Egypt. Then I constructed many pyramids and cellars. I also constructed 2 such pyramids in which I kept all my treasures safely. I have composed the following verses about it. My knowledge consists of that which exists, and I don't have knowledge of unseen, and Allah knows better and provided firmness in creation of a thing which required it. I strengthened, and Allah is the most powerful and wisest. Thus, I tried to find out the origin of River Nile. I became weary, and man is weary. I spent 80 months in journey, even though I was surrounded by the people of Bani Hajr and a very huge army till the point we had left behind all men and jinn, and I came face to face with a dark river. Thus, I accepted that there is no stage after this for any person who dares before or after me. Then I returned to my country and stayed here sometimes in calamities and sometimes with bounties. I am the owner of all pyramids of Egypt and of all the eastern utensils, and I am one who initiated. I have left in it signs of my craftsmanship and wisdom and handed over to the time which would neither get torn or destroyed. and it has many trials and strange things, and this act is a cause of bitterness and disappointment for the time. My locks will be opened, and my strange things will come out in the hands of a friend of Lord, which would shine like a star during the last age. His actions would be seen around the house of Allah, and he will reach the peak, and then it would be a time of peace and harmony. 8 and 9 and 2 and 4 and other 90 or 9 will be killed or taken captives. Then there would be clashes for 99 years, and all signs of mines would come into their hands and will be destroyed. All my treasures will come out, however, I see that blood would be shed because of this. I have written my words on rocks. They would remain and would then be destroyed and will then become extinct. After looking at this inscription, Abu Jaish Hamadiya bin Ahmad said, "This is a thing which would be used by Qaim of progeny of Muhammad, that then that marble slab was kept black in its place." A year later, Abu Jaish was killed in the state of intoxication on his bed by his slaves. It was known after this incident when pyramids were constructed and by whom, and it is one of the most authentic narration about Nile and pyramids. Zabira bin Said, Saad bin Sam Parshi lived for 180 years. He lived during the time of Islam also. His death was accidental. Lubayd bin Rabia Jafari lived for 140 years and lived during the time of Islam and accepted it. When he was of 70 years, he composed the following verses. As if I have spent 70 years and took the clock off my shoulders, this soul is carrying and complaining to me that I lifted you for 7 years, more than 70 years. If you completed 3 more years, then you would get a wish, and 80 years will be completed after those 3 years. When he was 90, he composed the following verses. As if I have completed 90 years now, thus I have taken off the bridle of long life with it. The daughters of the time attack me from unknown place. However, I am injured with something other than arrows. When he completed 110 years, he wrote, a person who lived for 100 years and completed 10 more years after that, then what is missing in his age? When he completed 120 years, he wrote, I spent a long life before I fell ill, but there is no place for this adamant soul. When he was 140, he composed the following verses. Now I am fed up with life and its length, and with the question of people. Lubayd, how are you? Men were overcome, but you did not lose that lengthy period, which will be forever and elongated. If a day comes for me and a night after that, then both of them come once again after they have passed. When he was in his final moments, he willed to his son, your father will not only die, but will be destroyed. Thus, when your father's soul is captured, close his eyes, make him face Qibla, and wrap him in his clothes, and tell everyone strictly that they should not cry or shout. Then prepare nice food in the large vessel in which I used to feast, and send it to those people in mosque who have mourned for me. Make the people eat it after the Imam completes prayer with salutation. When they have finished eating, tell them that their brother Lubayd has died, and request them to attend my funeral, that Almighty Allah has captured my soul. Then he recited following verses. When you bury your father, put some wood and wet sand on him, and use such strong planks that uninvited guests do not manage to make nests inside, and it is certain that the face would become like fine sand, although it is unbelievable. There is another tradition that Lubayd had taken oath that when northern wind blows, he would slaughter some camels and fill them in a large vessel and invite everyone for feast. When Walid bin Uqba bin Abi Mu'ayt became the governor of Kufa, he delivered a sermon and said, after praising and glorifying Allah, O people, you know about Lubayd bin Rabia Jafari and his courtesy and helplessness, and you also know that he had taken oath that whatever Whenever northern wind blows, he would slaughter a few camels. Hence, it is your duty that to help him for his courtesy. Saying this, he got down from the pulpit and sent 5 camels and wrote the following verses to Lubaid. I see that when Akil Lubaid's northern wind blows, the butchers sharpen their knives. He is a Jafari who is very tall and has broad chest. He is generous like his lineage, like a sharp sword, and these virtues are present in Jafari's sons also, as if there is a dearth of wealth for him. It is said that Walid had sent 20 camels. When Lubaid read those verses, he said, May Allah give 10 rewards to Amir of this. Probably he does not know that I have stopped composing verses. Then Lubaid called his 5 years old daughter and said, Reply these to Amir. Thought for a while and then recited the following verses. Now, whenever Abu Aqil's northern wind blows, we would remember Walid, a tall one with broad chest and one who is related to Abdul Shams. He helped Lubaid like long ropes, like caravan of camels on which the people of Bani Ham also mounted. O Abu Wahab, Walid, may God reward you for it. We have slaughtered the camels gifted by you, and please be generous another time also, because a generous is one who is generous again and again, and our oath is fulfilled again and again. Where, after hearing these verses, said, O daughter, you have quoted very nice verses, but you should not have asked for anything in them. She replied, A king never gets angry when asked for something. Lubaid said, Then you are a very good poet. Amir bin Zar Adwani lived for 300 years. Hasan bin Utban bin Zalim bin Amr bin Qatiha bin Haris bin Salama bin Mazin Zubaydi lived for 200 years, 250 years, and composed the following verses. Beware, O Muslim community, I am not from you. I am such a man whose strength is hungry. When I was challenged by 2 persons, I told them to come. They said, Every person who is challenged displays his strength. Beware, O Bani Muslim, my life has made me weary, and trade and traveling for it has made me weak. I have become a burden of my house because of illness and weakness, and every stranger and relative has become weary of me. This time and days are like a table with food laid on it, which is a part for every hungry person. Auf bin Kuna bin Auf bin Uzra bin Zaid bin Tohar bin Qalb lived for 300 years. When his final moments arrived, he gathered his children and willed. Fear Allah. Do not mourn or grieve for loss of wealth. Keep away from distrust. Do not disturb wild animals. Otherwise, all of them will come out of their shelters and you will be disgraced. Do not hurt people and live with peace and harmony. Do not ask excessive questions so that people do not consider you a burden. Do not speak except truth so that people praise you. Treat people with love so that their hearts become spacious for you. Do not deprive people of benefiting from you. Otherwise, their hearts will become full of complaints for you, and include yourselves among those who give gifts to their children secretly. Do not spend much time with people lest you would be considered lowly. Be patient during the time of difficulty and make the time wear its clothes. Certainly, speaking nice with difficulty is better than speaking bad with ease. Bow in front of the person who bow in front of you, for people come closer because of love. If someone expresses hatred and dislike, do not move away from promise and commitment. If someone seeks excuse from you, accept this excuse. Keep your promises and do not break them. Lift your status by keeping away from falsehood, because human misfortune is in falsehood and speaking against the will. Do not express your helplessness to people, otherwise, you will lose respect in their eyes. Fear poverty because it is a disgrace. Treat your equals honorably and wish that you are uplifted. The beauty of women should not separate you from healthy lineage and involve you in worry, because marriage with virtuous women is a cause of respect and honor. Bow down while meeting your community. Do not betray them and do not show indifference in a matter in which they are united, because opposition is against obedience of a leader. First do good to your people and then do others, and do not fear the wishes of your near and dear ones, because it is a cause of extinguishment of fire, of hard work, and non fulfillment of duties, and leave the one who sleeps and become their helpers during the time of their difficulties and pains, so that you will conquer and fear from asking that, whose benefits did not reach them. Treat your neighbors with respect, who comes to you with freshness. Give preference to the right of weak over your right. Tolerate fools so that your sorrow and grief is reduced. Keep away your groupism because it is a disgrace. Do not trouble yourself more than your capacity except during the time of difficulty, so that you are not condemned for in spite of your helplessness. And you should have such a strength which is better than supporting them through apologies in the state of helplessness. You should insist them before it is time to seek forgiveness and make effort. And do not be sluggish because effort keeps away from poverty and helplessness. You all should shout one slogan because it is a cause of respect, and keep your edges sharpened. Do not pay attention to disrespectful people, not bring them near you, and do not meet wicked people because you will be hurt by them. Do not be jealous among yourselves, else you will be destroyed. Miserliness is a disease. Keep away from it. Elevate your status through generosity, kindness, and by respecting the purity of excellent people. Spend and gain love. Take care of knowledge and respect of knowledgeable and excellent persons. Benefit from the experience of the experienced persons. They would not stop you even from a smallest deed which contains reward, and do not consider people lowly. Otherwise, the same would be returned to you because a person is judged by the purity of his heart and purity of his tongue. And when you are involved in fear of something, then it is necessary for you to be steadfast instead of hurrying up. Also, see to it that you make your place near rulers through love, because whosoever tried to disrespect them was disappeared himself, and whoever elevated them was elevated. Show courtesy because eyes are pointed you out. Show humility with dignity to people so that your Lord likes you. Then he said, and every intelligent and shrewd will not advise you, nor every advisor is intelligent. However, if both things are collected in one person, then it is necessary for you to obey him. Safi bin Riyah bin Akhtam, who was from the progeny of Asad bin Amr bin Tahmim, lived for 270 years. He used to say, your brother is under your control in all circumstances except during the time of war, because when a man picks up a weapon, he cannot be controlled by anyone. Sword is the best advisor. Avoiding pride keeps praises alive. The greatest punishment is that given to a traitor. The mischief of helps injustice. The worst character is one which is troublesome, and bad manner are cause of increasing displeasure. Then he hit his staff on ground and recited the following verses. It is necessary for a destroyed person that he realizes his faults before his death comes. And human beings got knowledge so that they understand everything. Imad bin Shaddad lived for 150 years. Akhtam bin Safi from the progeny of Asad bin Amr bin Tamim lived for 360 years. Some says that he lived for 190 years. He saw the time of Islam. There is a difference of opinion whether he accepted Islam or not. Most people say that he did not accept Islam. He said about this, certainly a man should spend 90 years of life. If it is extended by 100 more years, then an ignorant person does not become weary of life. If 6 and 4 are subtracted from 200, then 190 would remain. It is when nights are also counted. Muhammad bin Salama says, when Akhtam wanted to accept Islam, his son made him die out of thirst. Also, I have heard that this verse was revealed for him. The translation is, and whoever flies in Allah's way, he will find in the earth many a place of refuge and abundant resources. And whoever goes forth from this house flying to Allah and his apostle, and then death overtakes him, his reward is indeed with Allah. There was no one wiser than him among the people of Arabia. When he got the news of annunciation of apostleship of the messenger of Allah, he sent his son Halis to prophet and said, O son, I want to give you some advices. you should follow after you depart till you return to me. Try your luck in the month of Rajab. Then try to make it lawful so that it becomes lawful because of you, because unlawful is illegal for oneself, but also for one's acquaintances. During this journey, you should stay with the person who is most respectful in whichever tribe you happen to pass by. In your relations with noble persons, keep away from disgraced ones because if they would not have been disgraced, then they would have been respected in their community. And when you approach that person, then first of all, I am aware of him and his family as he belongs to one of the most honored households of Quraysh. You should keep two things in mind. Even if he desires kingdom, you should honor him and stand in front of him. Do not sit unless he asks you to do so. In this way, you would not be hurt by him and you will be benefited by him. And if he is really a prophet, then Allah would not like misbehaving with him. You would find that all his matters are right and you would find humility in him. He would be an obedient one of his Lord. Bow down when you meet him and do not say anything except that I have ordered you. Remember whatever I have told you and follow it. Then he handed over a letter addressed to the Holy Prophet to his son, which contained the following text. In the name of Allah, this letter is from a servant of another servant. I got the news of your apostleship, but I don't know the truth. If you have seen something, then show me, and if you have received knowledge, then give it to me also and include me in your treasury. Wassalam. Holy Prophet replied to this letter as follows. From Muhammad, the Messenger of Allah, to Akhtam bin Safi, I thank Allah that He ordered me to say, there is no God except Allah, and orders other to do so. All creatures are created by Allah, and every order belongs to Allah. Only He gives life and only He gives death. Only He will assemble people and we have to return only to Him. I have been sent to teach you people the manners of messengers, and you would certainly be asked about the great news, and that great news would be known soon. When Akhtam bin Safi read the letter of Holy Prophet, he asked his son, how was he according to you? He said, I saw that he orders good things and stop from doing bad deeds. Thus he told his son, O son, gather Banu Tamim, but do not bring any fool because every person has an opinion and a fool's opinion is weak, however physically strong be might he. Whoever Whoever does not have intelligence does not have goodness. When Banu Tamim gathered, he delivered a sermon following. O Banu Tamim, now I have become aged and I have entered the disgrace of old age. If I say a right thing, you must accept it. Otherwise, inform me about a right thing so that I become steadfast on it. My son had gone to meet a person. He informed that that person orders to do good things and stop from evil. He narrates benefit of good character and restrains one from having bad character. He order worship of one Allah. He prevent from worshipping idols and fire. He says that he is the messenger of Allah and that messenger has come before him also who had books and ordered worship of one Allah. Hence, it is the duty of you all that you help Muhammad in his mission. If the orders given by him are rightful, you will benefit, and if it is not rightful, it is your duty to hide him and do not become angry with him. Earlier, Asqaf Najran had also narrated his characteristics. Before that, Sufyan bin Majashi had also talked about him, and hence he named his son Muhammad. Those among you who possess opinion know it well that the matter towards which he is inviting is a good thing. Hence, you should be the first to accept him and do not delay this matter. If you obey him, it would be a cause of your honor and you would be manifested. Make haste in obeying him before you are compelled to do so, because I see that he would not leave any high or low position and would not live without uprooting fixed thing and would reach everywhere. Even if it is supposed that whatever he is inviting towards is not a religion, then too it is merciful beautiful character. Accept whatever I say and follow it. I am asking for a thing from you which can never be snatched from you. Your population is a majority in Arabia, and your cities are largest. I think you, even if a disgraced one will follow him, he would become respectful, and even if a respectful person opposes him, he would be disgraced. You people are respectful, hence, your respect will be doubted. Then there would be no one to complete with. Then there would be no one to compete with you. Remember that those who go ahead do not leave anything for those who are left behind. Leadership is for those who come first, and those who are left behind have to obey. Thus, hasten in your work because determination is strength and precaution is helplessness. Malik bin Novera said, O people, this old man has become unsound of mind. Akhtam said, Curse be upon the person who is aggrieved and extremely sorrowful. You people kept quiet over my words. The worst thing for an advice is that people turn their faces away from it. Woe unto you, O Malik, you would be destroyed. When truth becomes manifest, it manifests its followers also, and backward people also come in the level of those who have progressed. Thus, you should make it obligatory for yourself to be amongst those who stand up and for establishing truth. Now, when you have considered me elder to you, bring my camel so that I mount on it. Saying this, he mounted on his camel, and his son and nephew walked behind him. Then he said, I am sad about the work which I could not accomplish and which did not take me ahead. Banu Tai wrote a letter to Akhtam. There were his maternal uncles. Some narrators say that Bani Mara wrote a letter to him. They were also his maternal uncles. They sought advice from him. Akhtam wrote to them in reply. So to say, I advise you to fear Allah and maintain relations because its roots are strong and branches are spread out. Keep away from his sins and breaking relations because its roots are weak and branches do not spread. Do not marry foolish women because it is abnormal. Consider the worth of camels. They are like a strong fort of Arabia. Do not load them more than their capacity. They are fixed as doer and accepted its expiation for killing. The milk is a gift for elders and food to children. They can be used for operating grinding mill. A person who considered his worth will never be destroyed. Poverty of intelligence is the poverty real. A virtuous man would never allow his wealth to be destroyed. Sometimes a single man happens to be better than 100 men, and sometimes a single group happens to be better than two grouped together. A person who complains about time bears pain. A person who is thankful for his fortune lives a good life. Lust and greed are barriers in the way of a person with opinion, and habit should be in accordance with good manners. A needy who has love in his heart is better than a rich who has hatred in his heart. World is temporary abode which will be destroyed. Whatever is bound to come will come in spite of your weakness, even if you fail to seek it. And whatever is bound to go will go in spite of all the force and attempts made by you. The defect of poverty and hunger wastes honor. Jealousy is such a disease for which there is no medicine. Rejoicing at another's distress comes after that. If a person treats others with goodness, he too would be treated with goodness. Foolishness is accompanied by shame. Forbearance is the pillar of mind. The collection of all good deeds is patience, and the forgiveness is the best act. Keeping promises maintains friendship, and the love for a person who shows inclination increases. I will you that you should fear Allah and maintain relations. Continue to do good deeds so that your number increases. Neither its roots nor its branches deplete. Keep away from disobedience of Allah and breaking relations because neither roots nor branches of a person who breaks relations are strong. Control your tongue because it is your enemy. Even if a friend would not like to hear a true thing and look at the necks of camel and load them according to their capacity because they are given in dues and also accepted as blood money, you must not marry foolish girls because it would be nothing but trouble for you, and children from them would be nothing but trouble. To have proper food during a journey guarantees comfort and strength, and a person who does not become hopeless after losing a thing will get peace. And if a person remains satisfied with whatever he has, his eyes will be cooled. Leave that wrong deed before you are embarrassed, and according to me, it is better to do a good deed than committing a sin. No man dies without knowing his value and status. Helplessness during distress is a barrier for dignity. Pity on that scholar who is fearless about his foolishness, and fear takes insight away. Whenever some issue is brought to him, he becomes confused, and when the work is taken back, he is recognized by clever as well as foolish. Extravagancy during happy times is stupidity. Attaining heights give respect. Do not be sad if you get a little because you will get more. Do not answer a thing which is not asked to you. Do not laugh at a thing which is not worthy of laughing. Express your aloofness for which from this world, and do not have hatred. Jealousy resides among relatives, and when everyone gathers in one place, their weapons start crackling. You get near because of love, but do not depend on proximity. Also, it is obligatory that you reform through wealth, because the reformation of wealth and property cannot take place without your reformation. Pay attention to your diet. Do not rely on your brother's wealth to fulfill your needs.